And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. It is Sunday. It is the weekend. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining. I honestly don't do a lot of weekend live streams. This is new. It's like 2 in the afternoon, so we'll see what happens. Could get wild. But welcome in, everybody. I see we got 23 people in here. Be sure to hit that like button. Drop your questions in the chat. I'll be getting to as many as I can. And of course, super chat's the way to go to guarantee that I get to your question, your comment, your concern. Also a huge way to help support the channel. Without further ado, I say we dive right in to the chat. And how's everybody doing? Let me know how you're doing. Connor, what's good? How you doing? I did see that all these movies got delayed. Sony basically delayed their entire slate, and a lot of studios, I think, will follow suit shortly. I saw Beyond the Spider-Verse, rather, has been delayed indefinitely, meaning it probably won't come out for the foreseeable future, which the writing was on the wall. We kind of knew that was going to happen, but it's out of our control. And this whole thing is, and it sucks. But unfortunately, the strike is I don't know when it's going to get resolved, and the studios need to just wise up and do the right thing and fairly pay the writers and actors. And it's gone on long enough. I think the studios look like morons right now. So yeah, am I a cat or a dog person? I'm a cat guy. I love cats, and the main reason for that is my girlfriend Cam had 2 cats. I loved them. They were like pets to me, and cats are just the best. So I think they get a bad rap. They're the cutest. They're very lovable. They're like low maintenance animals. You don't have to like walk them or really monitor them all much. They sleep a lot. They're cuddle buddies, and they're just adorable. So I'm a big cat guy. But yeah, Ryan, what's good? How you doing? Welcome in. I see you guys were having some little Q&A of your own before that started. That's awesome. Movie Maniac, what's good? How you doing? If they make a DC versus Marvel movie, would I see it? Yeah, of course. I think that'd be a huge movie. Would I want to see that movie? Like, do I want that movie to come out? Probably not. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's a good idea. But like, how would that make sense? It would kind of ruin the canon of every universe. But if they ever did, I think it would have to be like an animated thing. But I mean, I'd watch it, of course. I think most people would. It'd be a huge hit just because people would be like, oh, we got to see this movie. The real question is, who would win, Marvel or DC? Or would they team up to fight a greater entity, just like in BVS? We'll see. I'm doing good. How about yourself? Let's see. Okay. Favorite movie of the year so far is from Eli. Oppenheimer. I want to get an Oppenheimer poster so badly. Like, that is on my list of things to get for the movie room, is an Oppenheimer poster, because I want to represent my favorite movie. I want to get a Guardians 3 poster. In fact, I'm probably going to switch up the background soon. I feel like I'm due for a little background switcheroo. I actually went and saw Talk to Me, the new A24 movie, this past week, and at the theater I was at, it's not one I always go to, but they usually have posters, and I've noticed, I think it's specifically for Paramount Films. They had the Scream posters, so I grabbed a bunch of those. This was back in March. They had Mission Impossible posters, so I grabbed the Dead Reckoning Part 1 poster. If you guys follow me on Letterboxd, it's the same poster I have for Letterboxd, because I have like the feature where I can like change my poster, and that's the poster that I have now. So I will be putting that up. I think that I'm going to just replace these two. Like, all love to these movies, but it's 2023 now, I should have, this is 2022. So I think I'm going to replace these two with some newer movie posters and kind of switch it up a little bit, if that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. That Beach Guy with a super chat, thank you very much. I've been watching the Transformers movies lately, and I was wondering what your order for the Transformers movies are, best to worst. So if you know me, it's almost become talking about the Transformers movies has become something in and of itself on the channel, where if I do, it becomes this weird toxic thing, but we're just going to go for this. I haven't seen the 5th movie, and I haven't seen Bumblebee. So my favorite, it would probably have to be the original, then the 3rd, then the 2nd, then the 4th, then Rise of the Beasts, and then the 4th. I remember the 4th one being awful. So that's my ranking off the top of my head. This is from best to worst. 1, 3, 2, Rise of the Beasts, 4. And then I haven't seen 5, and I haven't seen Bumblebee. So there's my ranking. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. And keep them coming if you guys want to guarantee I get right to your question, your comment, your concern. All right. And by the way, I will be doing a Twitch stream today. It will be a Twitch stream very, very soon after this, probably. I have a video I need to get up, but Twitch stream today. for those wondering. My Twitch is linked down below. All right. Favorite Margot Robbie movie? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it's funny because we talked about this in the podcast, which now that I always plug the podcast here because it's like I want to spread the word. I usually put the link in the chat. So let's do this. I always do this. But boom. Go subscribe to the podcast channel. But anyway, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love The Wolf of Wall Street. And of course, I, Tonya. Those are like my top 3 Margot Robbie movies, I think. But then there's The Suicide Squad. She's got a great filmography. But I think that's where I lean right now. For me personally. All right. Keep, watch, burn, Stranger Things, No Way Home, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Keep, Stranger Things, watch No Way Home, burn, Dead Reckoning. That was an easy one. That's an easy one for me. Let's see. What's good, people? How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Well, I appreciate that, Jackson. Thanks for popping in the chat. When are you ever going to do a Blu-ray hunt? I don't know if I'll ever do another Blu-ray hunt. Maybe one day, but the thing about it is I just don't buy Blu-rays anywhere near as much as I used to. I used to buy them a lot, but I haven't bought a Blu-ray in a while, and I don't know if I will buy many in the future. I just don't. It's not something I've been spending money on, and I used to do a lot of them. I haven't done one since like November of last year, I think, but maybe one day, but it just depends. I kind of veered away from doing them, and I haven't like missed them too much. Like it was a fun era for sure, but I just haven't really made physical media content in a really long time. Ethan says today's Arnold's birthday. What's your favorite movie starring him? Probably gonna have to go off the top of my head. I mean, that's tough. I would probably have to say Predator, or like I'm not a diehard Terminator fan. By the way, I've seen the first 2 movies and I didn't adore them like everyone does. I thought they were good. I think I like Predator. That's the freshest one in my mind. I'm probably forgetting a movie that I prefer though, but I'll say Predator. Sounds about right. I have not seen Battle Royale. Thoughts on Titanic? It's a classic. Everyone should see at least once. And yeah, that's really what I have to say. It's the scale of that movie is impressive. I'll say that much. The scale of that movie is really impressive. Thoughts on FF news going down? This is one of those moments where I'm just lost. I will answer this if you. I honestly could just be blanking right now. But what does this mean, AJ? Let me know, and I will. Thank you for the super chat. But I genuinely, I could be blanking right now, but I'm actually gonna have to look in the chat and see what that even stands for. Please let me know. Let's see. Honestly, I'm just waiting. I'm very curious. All right. I'll get to that in a second. I'm a huge Tarantino fan. I've seen all of Tarantino's films, and my favorites, even though you didn't ask, my favorites are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Inglourious Bastards, and probably Pulp Fiction. I have not seen Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. My opinion on it failing at the box office was the poor marketing campaign, probably. I mean, I barely saw anything for that movie, and anything that wasn't huge that came out this summer was pretty much doomed to fail because of the competition, frankly. Ryland's in the house. What's good, Ryland? Hope you're doing well. Also, my friend, my question today is, which legacy characters do you think will return in Saw X? I believe Hoffman is going to return, and the opening voiceover sounded like him. Let me take a sip of water. So yeah, people had mentioned that. Oh, I almost just knocked this Stanley Cup over. Would not have been good. Wouldn't have been a good look. So yeah, I think we're going to see Hoffman in some capacity, and people have said that, and I kind of listened to the trailer again after the first time, and I was like, could definitely be Hoffman. I will say, I mean, honestly, that's the one I want, you know? I wouldn't mind seeing is it Strom? Agent Strom, I believe. I would not mind seeing him. It's a prequel, so pretty much anything's fair game, right? Give me anybody. You know who I really would love to see, and people have been. I've seen like the Saw Twitter community is Lee Winnell's character from the first film. I won't say. I'm not going to say anything, a damn thing actually about Saw. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but that would be nuts. And I won't dive into how or why or what or what. I'm just going to shut up. But Lee Winnell's character, whew, that would be cool. That would be cool. Would it make sense? Maybe not. But this is Saw, baby. They can do whatever they want. All right, let me scroll down and see what FF meant. Oh, Fantastic Four. Thank you. We'll go back to this now. Fantastic Four. See, if it was F4, I would have known, but FF. Okay. Thoughts on Fantastic Four news going down? I haven't seen anything lately. The last big thing that I remember hearing was the Adam Driver news, but even then, I don't think that's gonna come true. And with the strike going on, I mean, any news about this movie means pretty much nothing. I don't know when they're even. I mean, this movie is just going to keep getting delayed. I fear. So that's my thoughts on the news. Whatever cast. I mean, there's been multiple cast rumors over like the past year and a half now. I don't even know if any of it matters anymore. Excuse me. I don't know if they're ever even gonna. The movie's gonna happen, is what I'm trying to say. But when, it's kind of sad to think about, actually. So I don't really know. Dylan with the super chat. Thank you, Dylan. Watched Barbie today, watching Oppenheimer tonight. Thoughts on Barbie? And enjoy Oppenheimer. It's the movie of the year for me. But thank you for that super chat, Dylan. All right. Back to the chat we go. We got Cam in the house. We do. Big cat people. Least favorite movie of the year so far? Probably Megan. Abby, what's good? How you doing? Best comic book movie of the year? Guardians 3. Guardians 3, and that's apparently like a hot take. You know, people are like, oh, Spider-Verse, Guardians 3. I go Guardians 3, people. I do. Do it. Jason Cruz, what's good, my man? How you doing? Chris, is there any movie you will never watch due to the subject? For example, I don't watch movies around real-world events like the Holocaust, as movies like that emotionally destroy me. Totally fair. I don't think I will ever watch A Clockwork Orange. I don't want to. That's why I just think the subject matter and the nature of the film is a little too disturbing for me. And I've seen some disturbing things, mind you. I just don't want to watch it. I know it's Kubrick. I know it's like iconic to some. That's a movie that I just don't ever see myself watching for that exact reason. So great question there, Ellie. A little outside the box. I love questions like that. But that's my answer to that, is probably A Clockwork Orange. Network 98, what's good? No Joe Keery comments yet. I'm surprised. All right. What's my favorite Spider-Man villain? Norman's on sabbatical, honey. Green Goblin, for sure. For sure. Spider-Man 2099 versus Batman, who would win? I'm pretty sure any Spider variant would probably beat Batman because, and I love Batman, don't get me wrong, but the natural enhancements of the Spider people in combat are going to be probably too much for Batman. Obviously, Batman versus Superman, Batman has can acquire kryptonite to take him down. It's a little different with Spidey, so I that's a tough one. I think most Spider people would beat Batman, as much as I love Batman. Good question, though. Do you think the Marvels will be delayed? I don't. I think movies of a high caliber like that are going to stay and keep their release dates because the Marvel brand is enough to get butts and seats anyway, you know? But certain movies that are like not lower budget, lower scale. For example, that movie Challengers with Zendaya. Zendaya being able to market the film on social media would have been huge for it. That's why they pushed it, because she wasn't going to be able to. When in reality, they could have just kept it if they just paid the actors and the writers fairly, the studios. So I don't get it. Iron Man versus Batman, who wins? You pose an interesting question here, because if we're specifically talking like the MCU, and depends on the version of Batman, actually, now that I think about it. Look, Batman clearly more skilled from a combat point of view. But it depends on Iron Man's tech. You know, that's really difficult. I may have answered this before. Right now, I'd probably say I might lean Batman. Is that crazy? I don't know. Just depends on the day, honestly. I don't know if it matters that much. Ooh, I got an IMAX Oppenheimer poster. That's clean. I like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I would love to acquire an Oppenheimer poster. Oppenheimer, beautiful movie. Thomas with the super chat. Thank you, Thomas. What's my favorite film of the last 5 years? So 23, 22, 21, 2020, 2019. Man, that's difficult. That's difficult off the top of the head. I would say there's a few in contention. You've got your, from this year, I got Guardians 3 and Oppenheimer. Those are two in contention. You've got Top Gun Maverick, The Batman, No Way Home. Go back as far as 2019. You've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You've got Endgame. I would probably say it's really difficult, but right now I might have to say, man, favorite movie of the last 5 years. Favorite. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, guys, and I also love Top Gun Maverick. But Oppenheimer too. It's so difficult. I think I'd say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I don't really know anymore. What do I know? Thank you for the super chat, though, Thomas. All right. And by the way, if you guys are in here, hit that like button and check out the podcast channel. Go subscribe. My girlfriend Cam is in the chat, and myself have a podcast called The Unusual Couple Podcast, where we do movie talk, debate, hot takes, tons of stuff. It's a lot of fun. We did a Barbenheimer episode. You guys go check that out and subscribe. All right. I was somewhere in the chat. We'll find where I was, though. We will, whatever it takes. Oh, I answered that one. We answered this one. And this is, okay, I found my spot now. We're good. What's the jump scare that got you the most? Insidious Chapter 3 of all movies. It was the end of the movie, and it was winding down, and I was like, oh, we're done. The movie's over. I was like chilled out totally, and the camera's panning out of this window, and out of nowhere, that damn Darth Maul demon hops up and like screams into the camera, and I literally jumped out of my seat and like fell to the floor. So that's probably the one that got me the most, at least that I can think of. Here's one from a non-horror movie that would get me as a kid. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. It's the first act of the movie. Will Turner walks up on the beach to try and find Jack, and one of the like native people is camouflaged in a tree, and he opens his eyes and like goes and jumps out at him, and they attack him. Obviously, that always scared the crap out of me when I was growing up. iPhone or Android? iPhone. There you have it. By the way, watched a Blackberry last night. Fascinating movie. Highly recommend. Can't recommend enough. If you guys are a fan of The Social Network, Steve Jobs, a movie like The Wolf of Wall Street, where you see the rise and fall of something, you know, business-wise, and you want great performances, fast-paced, fast-paced, just all around. The script is lightning fast-paced. The editing is top-notch. I recommend it highly. Dylan with the super chat. Thank you, Dylan. I luckily got the last seat in the back for Oppenheimer 2. Did you go a 70mm IMAX? Because if so, lucky you. I've been trying to find 70mm IMAX, and I think it's sold out for forever, actually. So I don't think I will get that opportunity. There's a theater in my state, not too far from where I live, that does 70mm IMAX. But I saw the film in regular IMAX and Dolby. I'm happy with that, but it would have been cool to go 70mm IMAX. At least once, you know, for one of the viewings would have been awesome. But it is what it is. We move on. We move. All right. That was funny. Okay. Ooh, I already answered some of these. Let me see. Okay. Cobra Kai Hawk, what's good? How you doing? Movie Maniac, happy early birthday. I hope you have a great one. Subscribe for those watching. Top 3 Bernthal projects. Ooh, that's so tough. He's been in, I'm honestly going to have to go to IMDb for this because he's been in so many things where he's in a small role for like, he's in Baby Driver for like 2 minutes, but you just forget. He's got such a wealth of project. Let me look this up. I think I have to go with The Punisher. So that's one of them. I think, I go The Bear because he's in that. The Punisher show. And I think The Wolf of Wall Street. But let me look through. He's really good in King Richard. He's really good in Ford v Ferrari. He's in The Walking Dead, which I haven't seen, so technically I can't say that. He's in Baby Driver, which is amazing. God, I forget he's in a lot of these movies. Jeez. He's in some stuff, like some really good stuff. I'll say that for now. I'll go The Bear, Punisher show, and Wolf of Wall Street. Those are my top 3 projects right now. I need one of those 70mm Oppenheimer film strips that they're giving out. Let me grab, I just got to show you guys something. Give me like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So a friend of mine actually saw the film in 70mm IMAX and said, I got an extra one. Would you want it? And I was like, yeah. So I got this. Let me show you guys. It's in the plastic bag still. I don't want to take it out. but I didn't see it in 70mm IMAX, but they're like handing these out. So let me show you guys this. You put light up on it. Let me figure out how to do this. So see? Oppenheimer. Isn't that sick? That's so cool. Yeah. So I got to figure out where to put this, but I got one and it's dope. And I want a poster for the movie now because I love it. It's my favorite movie of the year. And I've been obsessed with Oppenheimer. I listen to the score on a loop. I've just been so versed in this movie. I think I want to see it at least one more time in theaters to make it 3. But yes, if I bet people are probably selling those strips somewhere online, but it's a very cool collectible to have. I would love to like make this custom frame where I put that film strip in it and I get like a cool poster for the movie and everything. Like that's something I would definitely want to do. So yeah, that's what I got to say about that. All right. Where was I in the chat? I've been trying to thrift a lot of my DVDs and Blu-rays. Honestly, I've been trying to sell some of mine. I might open like an eBay because I have a lot that I love and want to keep, but I also have a lot that I'm probably not going to watch again. So it's tough. Did I pick Mission Impossible over Stranger Things? I said keep Stranger Things, watch, was it No Way Home, and burn Mission Impossible? I think that's what I said. Favorite Batman Arkham game? I like Arkham City. That's so great. Such a fantastic game. I like them all, though. Keep, watch, burn Score Edition. Inception, Interstellar, The Dark Knight Trilogy. I'll burn The Dark Knight Trilogy. I will keep... Wow. I will keep... Honestly, I think I'm going to have to keep Interstellar and listen to Inception once. So watch Inception in terms of scores for those films. What's your Mission Impossible... What's your favorite Mission Impossible and Saw film? Ranked with tier list. My favorite Mission Impossible movie is Fallout. My favorite Saw movie is the first Saw movie. I'll have tier list. I'll have a ranking of the Saw franchise when Saw X comes out in 2 months. But yeah, Saw X has a ton of potential after that trailer. And I've heard that some early screenings of the film, like the producers thought something was wrong because people responded so positively to the film. So I'm very, very excited for it. Have you seen the Secret Invasion finale? If so, what are your thoughts? I have. I've watched all of Secret Invasion. The other day I did a live. I said, after this live, I'm going to binge Secret Invasion. And I did this. I did that. I watched 4 episodes in a row. I wasn't crazy about the finale. I thought it was pretty stupid, actually, and rushed, and left a lot of questions about the MCU's future and the MCU's past. Wasn't satisfied. Was not satisfied. Well, that's awesome. Glad you joined the podcast community over there. We have fun with that every week. Diego, what's up? What's up? How you doing, JJ? All right, let's see where we were in the chat. I'm doing a Pixar rewatch, and Toy Story 3 is my favorite Pixar movie. I was wondering, what's your favorite Pixar movie? It's a tie between Toy Story 3 and Ratatouille. Those movies are amazing. Amazing movies. So yeah, Toy Story 3, you're very, very valid for that. Less than a month till college football. Hell yeah to that, Ryan. I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I need it. Need it. All right. Okay. Where are we at in the chat? By the way, 60 people in here. If you guys are in here, hit that like button. If you're on the replay, hit that like button. Let's get up to 100 likes. Is that even possible? Let's try it. Do you think TMNT Mutant Mayhem and Deadpool 3 are going to make $1 billion? Excuse me. There's not a world where the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles makes $1 billion. And I'm not a hater of TMNT or anything. I'm not seeing the movie. I don't really care about TMNT. I never have. I never will. And that's okay. I think we need to normalize not trying to force liking every franchise. At least for me, I think that there's just certain franchise that's like, if I didn't grow up with this, I'm not like, why would I watch all these other movies that have horrible reviews just to go watch the new animated movie? That's the way I look at it. So no, I don't think it'll do $1 billion. I think Deadpool 3 will, but I don't think the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie will. Apparently it's good, but I probably won't see it. I just don't really care, you know? There's just certain franchises where it's like, if I went, I would be draining myself to go watch the movie. That's how it was with the new Transformers. So I was like, I'm good. I'm all good. Keep, watch, burn, the original trilogy. I think I've answered this before. Keep a New Hope. Watch Empire and burn Return of the Jedi. It sucks, but that's the way it's got to fall. That's like the only answer, I think, for me at least. What are my expectations for Loki season 2? My expectations for Loki season 2, man, that's tough. I don't just good television. Is that hard? Is that even a man like that's reasonable, right? Just to want a good season of television. That's all I want. That's my expectation. Give us something worth watching, something worthwhile, and something that means something in the end, in the grand scheme of the MCU, because so many of these shows are throwaway nonsense, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't know how many eps it's going to be. My assumption would be 6 episodes, just like the first season, but add value to the MCU and just be quality television. That's my expectation. Will that be delivered on? I don't know. We'll have to see. Probably not, honestly. We'll see though. We'll see. My eye went to itching on me. Good question here, John. Keep, watch, burn. Barbie, Oppenheimer, Haunted Mansion. So I actually have a video coming out today where I do a little tier list of some 2023, July 2023 movies specifically, where you can get more insight on this. But I'll say right now, keep Oppenheimer, watch Barbie, probably burn Haunted Mansion. Sorry, Haunted Mansion. It's a fun movie, but the more I think about it, I'm like, I'm probably not going to watch that again. Maybe, but you never know. What are my thoughts on The Witcher season 3? I haven't seen any of The Witcher seasons, so I have no thoughts. I have no thoughts at all. All right. I have seen Seven. It's a very, very good movie. Very disturbing movie that I usually don't try to rewatch because of how, frankly, disgusted I feel with myself after watching it. It's a very heavy movie that it just makes me feel gross, but it's a good movie. It's effective. Do I think Barbie will get $1 billion? 1,000,000%. It's already projected to do $1 billion by next weekend, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it will be the next movie to join the $1 billion club. Do I think it will get a sequel? Yeah, I think if a movie does $1 billion, it's getting a sequel. Look, Joker even is getting a sequel, and that movie doesn't need one at all. So it did $1 billion though, Yes, Barbie will get a sequel. Favorite director of all time? Hard not to say Spielberg, but I also love Nolan and Tarantino. Those are like the top 3 guys. Do I play fantasy football? I've played it many years in the past, starting as early as when I was like 8 or 10 years old. Played it for years and years of my life. Not anymore. I'm kind of retired from it. I like, it's fun for a while, but then it's like I'm good. It's too stressful during Sundays. It's not worth it anymore. It's just another stress to add to life. I'd rather just enjoy the football games and enjoy them and not have to worry about, oh, this tight end needs to score this, but this guy has to catch this pass for the, it's like, it's too stressful sometimes for me. Favorite DCEU villain? Probably Zod, right? I mean, unless I'm forgetting somebody, he's probably the best DCEU villain. Yeah, I'll go Zod. I could be forgetting someone, but I think it's Zod. And if you read this, do it. Hit that like button, guys. What's the most generic, boring Netflix action movie you've ever seen? Spencer Confidential. Has anyone heard of that? I think it has Mark Wahlberg and Post Malone and then Winston Duke. Spencer Confidential. That's my answer. Wow, is that movie bad? I honestly, this question just drew up a memory. I watched that during the pandemic, like early pandemic. Horrible movie. Really bad. All right, where are we at? Here we are. Have I watched Arcane? So I did a reaction series to the first 4 or 5 episodes. I never finished Arcane. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it though, and I found it a little overhyped. I enjoyed episode 3 a lot, but I don't know. The show is a bit of a drag for me. I think I'll finish it one day, but I just was never as invested as I wanted to be. I really wanted to like fully be invested in this world, and it just never like clicked for me fully. So kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer actually, but wasn't bad. I got to go back to it at some point. Jack, welcome in. Loved Barry's suggestion the other day. Hell yeah. As my brother loves it too. Very nice. But started Invincible. Yeah. If you haven't seen Invincible, enjoy. It's a wild ride. And I did see that. I think Homelander and Peacemaker and the new Mortal Kombat as well. Very interesting stuff. But yes, Invincible's great. And I'll be rewatching Invincible before the new season comes out in November, maybe November 3rd, I want to say. And I got to watch the Adam Eve special episode. I haven't watched that yet. What are my hopes for Ahsoka? Again, quality TV. I don't expect it to blow me away just because it's Star Wars Disney Plus, and they kind of dropped the ball with Mandalorian season 3. I hope. Here's what I hope. I hope the show gives us clarity on a lot of events from Rebels, effectively acting as a nice conclusion to that story. I also hope it sets up the end goal for these Star Wars Disney Plus shows, because they're apparently making like a Mandoverse movie with Filoni, and I think this needs to sort of segue into that. I want some awesome Thrawn moments, some great action, further exploration of these characters and their relationships. I just want a great Star Wars show. I'm going in cautiously optimistic, though. That way I cannot be disappointed, because I've been disappointed a lot with Star Wars Disney Plus content in general at that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. By the way, go subscribe right here. The Unusual Couple podcast, myself, my girlfriend Cam. We do a podcast every week, roughly. We have a lot of fun. We currently have 812 subscribers. We're trying to reach 1,000. So if you guys haven't subscribed, go check it out and hit that like button, as CG Shoe Miami says. Do you have Davy Jones pop box? Yeah, I do. It's just out of box right now, but I have the box. I keep my boxes for all my Funko Pops. All right. Okay, what are your thoughts on movies coming out between 2.5 and 3 hours? I am kind of done with a lot of 3-hour movies. Certain films like Oppenheimer fly by, but a lot of times, like movies like Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny was like 2 hours and 34 minutes. Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I love, was like 2 hours and 43 minutes, and it's just not necessary a lot of the times. You can chop out 20, 30 minutes of these films, and they would be better. Like, I don't get it. Not every movie needs to be that long. And so I get it, but at a certain point it's like, no, we need to stop. That could be a factor in why certain people don't go to the cinema as much also. But then I look at Oppenheimer, it's 3 hours, people are still going because it's high quality. So here's the thing, if you're 2.5 to 3 hours long, you got to be a damn good movie. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. That's my message for those movies. I've never actually fully watched the 2003 Haunted Mansion movie, so I can't answer that. Have I seen Perks of Being a Wallflower? I have. Very good movie. One of those movies I don't go back to ever, really. I've seen it once in 2020. And it's really good, but it's heavy subject material, well acted. One of those coming of age movies that like hits. It just makes you think back to like certain times in your life growing up. So it's a good movie for sure. Do I have a go-to movie or TV show lock screen? It's a good question. I usually just have like pictures of myself and like my girlfriend or something. Right now it's Indiana Jones related. So I'd say Indiana Jones, but Stranger Things lock screen would be a cool thing as well if I found like some cool art. All right. Best experience at a theater from Jay. Let me take a sip of water. Best experience in a theater, I would probably have to say The Force Awakens or No Way Home. Those two come to mind. Those are two movies that had huge hype for me. My Endgame experience wasn't good. I've told the story before, but like I wasn't able to go Thursday night, unfortunately, but I went at 1:00 on a Friday and it was like dead. And I was like, oh, this sucks. These people aren't hype right now, but it was still unforgettable, So I would say those two. Force Awakens, people were dressed up as Jedi. It was crazy. We got there. There was no reserved seating at the theater. So I got there really, really early to like walk in and get my seat, like the old days. And that one's up there for me just because it was like so special at the time to see a Star Wars movie on the big screen. It was so special. So I would probably have to say that. Mr. Ben G, what's good? Favorite De Niro movie? This is tough. I don't want to forget anything here. I'm thinking this is tough. I like Heat a lot. That movie's a one that I want to rewatch soon. Heat is great. Goodfellas, of course. Taxi Driver, of course. Jackie Brown. Slept on Tarantino movie. I just wanted to throw some out there, but those are a few of my favorites of his. I might have forgotten some. Um, sorry, just looking through the chat here. What is my favorite act from Oppenheimer? The third act, honestly, which is like post the testing of the atomic bomb, and it was like really turns into this sort of courtroom drama at times. I was fascinated with the way the movie was still able to maintain my attention for a whole nother hour after that. I would say the third act shines for me. I go Infinity War over Endgame, personally. And what do you guys think? I like Infinity War more. If you ever sell any Blu-rays, let me know. I got you. Yes, I do. I will be seeing Killers of the Flower Moon for sure. For sure in theaters. Very excited for that, actually. Favorite Stranger Things season? I like season 4 a lot. It's probably my fave. Sam's in the house. What's good, Sam? John Wick or Mission Impossible? Overall, I go Mission Impossible. But John Wick is amazing as well. I did not know today was Christopher Nolan's birthday. Happy birthday to one of the GOAT directors, though. Salute. All right. What's your favorite movie of the decade so far? Wow. It's arguably Oppenheimer. Arguably. It's between here they are in no order. Oppenheimer, Top Gun Maverick, The Batman, No Way Home, Tenet, and Guardians 3. Those are the ones in contention. I think Oppenheimer right now might take the cake for me. It might just do it, but then you got Top Gun Maverick. It's so hard. Oppenheimer's in contention for me though. Really up there, really high up there. My opinions on Interstellar, it's an amazing movie. Not the most rewatchable. Again, that's not a knock at the movie. It's got a brilliant score. It's a very emotional movie, and it's a mind-blowing movie. So it's not one I want to rewatch all that much, but it's so good. So good. I need to rewatch it soon. Frankly, I do. I am going to watch Loki season 2. I will. Am I excited? I sort of am. I'm, again, cautiously optimistic with pretty much anything involving the MCU and Disney Plus right now. So yeah. If there is a sequel, I don't think Greta would direct it. It would become a shell of what this one was. That's what I mean. Like they got $1 billion. Oh, we got to make a sequel, and then I don't think Greta Gerwig would probably do it, and it would turn into something stupid probably. I have not seen Only Murders in the Building. I've heard good things though. Might have to add it to the ever-growing watch list of TV. Which is huge right now. Everyone's, you got to watch this show, this show, this show. It's like, oh my gosh, this watch list will never be fully crossed off. I've never seen Rick and Morty. I think I've seen an episode or two, but I've never actually watched the show. Do I think Beyond the Spider-Verse will get $1 billion? I don't know. Depends when it comes out. It depends on the competition. I would love if it did $1 billion, but I don't think that's going to happen. Unless they really push it as like, this is the conclusion. This is, then maybe, but there's like a barrier with animation a lot of times where I don't know. I feel like a lot of people won't go. It's like, oh, it's an animated movie. I don't want to see it. And it sucks, but I feel like that could definitely be the case. And we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it'll be the highest grossing Spider-Verse film. $1 billion is a really high mark though. I don't know if it'll do $1 billion though. Well, it'll do like 800, 7, maybe even 900 million. But $1 billion, I don't know. Water is so good. All right. We got a super chat. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 or Spider-Man 4? So I get asked this one a lot. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. My answer is The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And the reason is that the Tobey trilogy, even though there was a fourth film planned, it essentially had its conclusion with Spider-Man 3. I mean, we got a beautiful closure for him, giving, forgiveness to Flint and Harry's sacrifice. Like, it was a beautiful little ending. So I am happy with the conclusion of the Spider-Man trilogy. I'm not happy with TASM 2 being the final TASM movie. We need one more. I think if I had to pick one right now, I go TASM 3. We get a fitting conclusion. That would be necessary. The other, like Spider-Man 4, I also want, but it's just not as necessary. We need TASM 3. So great question, and thank you for the super chat, but I got to go TASM 3 there. For sure. All right. Let's see. Have I seen The Place Beyond the Pines? I've seen it once. The first act of that movie is the best, and then it's like 3 movies in one. It's very interesting style of storytelling, but the first act was the most fascinating to me personally. What's my ranking of the Mando seasons? My favorite season 2, then season 1, and then season 3 is the worst. 1 and 2 on another level, and then you've got season 3, which is a massive drop in quality. Favorite M. Night movie? I probably would also have to agree The Sixth Sense. I did finish Secret Invasion. I didn't love it at all, actually. It fell for me. Like, the first 2 eps had so much promise and intrigue, and then it just really fell off for me after the finale, when nothing really progressed. It left us with a lot of questions. It was rushed. I don't know how they continuously drop the ball with these shows and they become these rushed messes by the end. It blows my mind. Really does. All right. Where are we at? Hans Zimmer top 5 songs on Spotify, or John Williams top 5 songs on Spotify? Well, let me look and I can tell you. All right, I just screenshotted John Williams, and let me screenshot Hans Zimmer now. All right, let's take a gander here, and I'll answer this question. So for John Williams, you've got Duel of the Fates, theme from Jurassic Park, the Imperial March, theme from Schindler's List, and Across the Stars. For Hans, we've got Cornfield Chase from Interstellar, Time, the Interstellar theme, which is called Day One, Honor Him from Gladiator, and then something I Now We Are Free from Gladiator as well, I guess. Okay. Man, I don't listen to this Schindler's List thing. I know it. It's very good. I just don't listen to it that much. Across the Stars is good, but it's a little overrated. But I mean, Jurassic, Duel of the Fates, Imperial March. I don't know. Time and Cornfield Chase. I go Hans Zimmer because of Time and Cornfield Chase. Those two have it up for me. Both really great though. All those top 5s. Is Dune really 3 hours and 15 minutes? The new Dune movie? That's insane if that's true. That's insane. If you could have a sequel to any comedy movie franchise, what would you choose? The Other Guys. We need a second Other Guys movie. That's the one that I would go to. Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, get them both back. It'd be hilarious. We need The Other Guys too. Need it. Bring Adam McKay back. Bring everyone back. Commit. But at the same time, I don't want them to take away from the greatness that is the first. So it's like, we'll see. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of going for. Do I have a comfort movie or show? Comfort movie or show. Comfort shows are like sitcoms to me. So right now, Seinfeld or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But like How I Met Your Mother is like an ultimate comfort show for me. Like if I was like, that'd be a really good one for me. Or The Office, shows where if like I need to just relax, those would be good ones to put on for me. Those are like comfort shows to me. Stranger Things is a comfort show to me though, But those ones I just mentioned like really genuinely make me feel at peace and comforted. All right. Yes, definitely need to watch Oppenheimer if you guys haven't seen it. It's worth it. I am a Harry Styles fan, definitely. Love some Harry Styles music. Sorry, just trying to find a question here. Keep Watch Burn trilogies: Guardians of the Galaxy, Dark Knight, or Planet of the Apes. So I will burn the Apes trilogy. It's really good. I haven't watched it since 2017. I've watched the other 2 since then multiple times. So I do that, and then I think I gotta watch Guardians and burn Dark Knight. I think, burn Planet of the Apes. I don't know why I said burn twice. Burn Planet of the Apes. Keep the Dark Knight trilogy, and watch Guardians. Sorry, I misspoke there. That's my answer. For sure. What's my most anticipated movie of 2024? Well, I don't, as of right now, this whole lineup for 2024 could get delayed or pushed. We just have to kind of wait and see what the deal is. But I would have to say right now, Deadpool 3 is my most anticipated movie of 2024. You've got Wolverine coming back. Just the pictures that have sort of leaked and the fact that we're getting Deadpool back on the big screen, give it to me. That's my answer right now. For sure. What's the worst Saw movie minus Spiral? I honestly, I'd probably have to say the Saw 3D, which is the seventh one. Like that one was always the worst to me. Or no, Jigsaw was bad. That one's bad. So probably Jigsaw, honestly. But there's some stinkers in there, but I still enjoy the franchise. It's one of those where it's like this is a bad movie, but it's actually a guilty pleasure in a way, like that kind of franchise. So that's what I'd probably say. Who's my favorite character of all time? Hard not to say Indiana Jones. I love that man. Really, really do. I love Hopper and Steve from Stranger Things as well. They're some of my faves. Hard not to say the first Saw movie here. What's your favorite Marvel show? Marvel Disney Plus. I really enjoy Hawkeye and the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Marvel overall, you got Punisher and Daredevil. Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises? I go Dark Knight, but Rises is really not that far behind it. I think the gap is a lot closer than people make it out to be. A lot of people love to sort of say The Dark Knight Rises is Nolan's worst movie, and I'm like, what are you talking about? That's how I feel. I really enjoy The Dark Knight Rises, but I go Dark Knight over it still. Justin says, hey, Chris, just watched Cobra Kai. Nice. Cobra Kai never dies, baby. And loved it. Who do you ship more, Miguel and Sam or Sam and Robbie? Me personally, I feel Sam and Miguel have way more chemistry together. Yeah, I think I like Sam and Miguel for sure. They're the couple for me. I love Robbie as a character, but I think Miguel and Sam for sure. I mean, after season 5, the moments they have, in the winding down moments of that episode, it's so sweet. Like they're great for each other. They love each other. It's gotta be them. All right. Killers of the Flower Moon is actually 3 hours and 26 minutes, which is a big ask. The movie better be well paced, or else it's like we're in this thing for the long haul. Yeah, Scorsese movies are usually 3 hours plus. Like The Irishman was about 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think. So it's doable, but the thing is, like, this is a movie I'll probably watch once. If a movie's over 3 hours, I will probably not rewatch it a ton. Anchorman 3 would also be a good sequel, but I didn't love the second one. I need to rewatch it sometime soon. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, hilarious show. All right. What's my least favorite Harry Potter movie? Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think. It used to be Half-Blood Prince, but I rewatched them last December and was like, it's actually way better than I ever thought. There's not a bad Harry Potter movie. I want to make that clear. They're all like really highly rated for me, but in terms of the Harry Potter like films, like Deathly Hallows Part 1 is the least interesting to me. It's got a great ending, but a lot of it is sort of this over dramatic whining from a lot of characters, and it's got to be my least favorite. The one that I would want to rewatch the least, Deathly Hallows Part 1, probably. Do I love Ben 10? I've only seen like episodes here and there growing up. Honestly, I've never really explored Ben 10 that much. I'm familiar with his powers and everything and like the little wristband thing he has, but I've never actually explored Ben 10 that much. Truth be told. Let me take a sip of water, by the way. I'm going to plug this again. Let's see. Boom. If you guys are in here, go subscribe to the podcast channel. I just put the link in the chat. Hit the like button if you guys are in here right now or on the replay. And Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, your concern. Also a huge way to help support me and the channel. Anything goes a very long way. I love Cobra Kai as well. Can't complain. Have ever watched the movie Wind River? I have. I've seen it once. It's another one of those movies that's like really heavy subject material, really dark at times. So I don't know if I'll go back to it ever, but it's a damn good movie. Taylor Sheridan, I believe, directed it, and it gets dark, guys. It gets really dark at times. So if you've seen, it's like in the same light as Seven in a way. It doesn't involve like that, serial killer going off the 7 deadly sins or anything, but it's dark, really is. So That's my advice. If you don't handle like dark subject material well, don't watch this one. What do I think of Batman vs Superman? I think the movie's okay, specifically the Ultimate Edition. It expands upon the original, makes it more watchable, but it's still fine. It's very overhyped by a lot of people. The BVS fight itself is great, but a lot of the movie is nonsense to me. Nonsense, literally. And I still don't know how they dropped the ball so hard with it. It could have been something special, and that's just not the case. They should have made a solo Batman film and a solo Superman film before this movie. They only did a solo Superman film, and then they put Batman's intro in this. What? Why? You want us to care about this? We need to have individual movies for both of them. It's really not that hard, and I don't know how they missed the mark so hard. The entire DCEU timeline was just so messed up from the start, and I question a lot of decisions that were made. It was sad. It's really sad to see what happened with it, honestly. Favorite year for movies? Good one. I would have to say 2019 and recent memory is up there, 2014. I go far back though, and you've got years like 1994, which was incredible. So it's tough, but in recent memory, 2019, I'll say this much: 2023 shaping up to be one of the best in a long damn time. What are the best horror movies that any horror fan must watch? Well, I'm very new to the horror genre in terms of exploring more of the sort of classic movies or movies that everyone highly regards. I think Scream is a really good movie to check out. Saw is a little on the darker side, but I think that's a good one. But Psycho is a movie that I think would be a good introduction for someone to the horror genre because it's inspired so many horror films that would follow. And I think it's just one of those staple horror movies. Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock and then Scream. They're two good sort of gateway movies. They're some of the first ones I watched to sort of explore more horror films. I'm right there with you, Adam. My favorite is also Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I got the poster right there. Just such a chill hangout movie, and it's like the epitome of Tarantino with the dialogue, with the third act, everything. I really love that movie. Go subscribe to the Unusual Couple podcast, by the way. Did I watch the Goosebumps show as a kid? I did not. No, I didn't. I think I've heard of the Goosebumps show, but I never watched it as a kid. Um, I read a book or two once, but that was pretty much my full experience with what's called with Goosebumps. Other than that, though, I didn't do too much. Let's see. We currently have 60 likes, so keep hitting that like button if you guys are in here or on the replay. Trying to hit 100 likes. All right. Iron Man 3 is Iron Man 3 underrated or fairly rated? I think it's if anything, people overrated. I think the movie's okay, but people try and say, "Oh, it's better than the first Iron Man. Oh, it's almost top 10 MCU." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. It's okay. It's an all right movie." Do you think Super Mario Bros. Movie will get a sequel? Is it already greenlit? I thought it was. 1,000,000%. It did a billion plus. If any movie does a billion plus, it's getting a sequel. No matter what, it's getting a sequel, in my opinion. So yes, it will 100% have a sequel without question. Thoughts on the Star Trek Kelvin trilogy? Is this the one with? Is this like the J.J. Abrams directed films, and then the third one's not? I've seen them all. I enjoy them. I don't really go back to them ever. I've never been a huge Star Trek fan. Maybe one day I'll rewatch them, but I just don't see myself going to them. You know, Chris Pine carries them with his charisma. The casting across the board, you got Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, loaded cast. Zachary Quinto, is that the guy who plays Spock? I mean, it's a good cast. I never I never go back to those movies. I never really think about them. I've seen two of the three in theaters. If we're referring to the Star Trek from 2009, then Into Darkness and Beyond, I've seen them all. I just never really go back to them. All right. Keep Watch Burn, the Jaws movies, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones. Keep Indiana Jones, watch Back to the Future, burn Jaws. Just because I've never seen the Jaws sequels, I never need to. But there's a lot of stinkers I've heard, so I'm comfortable burning those. Back to the Future trilogy, I'm watched once, and I'll be good, even though it will hurt me not to be able to rewatch it. And Indy is my childhood. I got to watch those forever. Favorite horror movie of all time? It's like a three-way tie, like between the movies I just mentioned, like Psycho, Scream, and Saw. But The Conjuring's making a push. The Conjuring is making a push for the top 10 for me. Favorite scary movie is Alien. Great movie. Great movie. Thoughts on them? I have actually seen parts of the first one. I've never really even watched any of the others. Wasn't he only like a producer on the movies too? He didn't even direct them. I'll never watch him. I'm not a huge TMNT. I've never seen this movie. Like anything about him, like I've never just been drawn to those movies. So I'm passing on them pretty much. Favorite Ryan Gosling movie? Mine has to be La La Land. La La Land's up there. I think my favorite is probably Crazy Stupid Love. That's a comfort movie, kind of a callback to one of the questions that was asked. It's between La La Land and Crazy Stupid Love, but Crazy Stupid Love, a movie with a great twist, but it's just a really funny, heartfelt romantic comedy. So that's my answer, probably. Could we get a Top Gun 3 where Tom Cruise is old? Maybe. But I think Tom Cruise would want to kind of outdo this one, and I don't know if that's possible. I think this is a great ending spot. So maybe one day they come back and do a Top Gun, but it would have to be the perfect storm, So I don't think that will probably happen. Technically, you're right, though. That did $1 billion, but it was a sequel already. If an original film gets $1 billion, then it'll be a sequel. So Super Mario Bros., Barbie, Frozen, I want to say, did $1 billion. So stuff like that is usually going to get a sequel. I finally watched D&D, for those wondering. I finally watched it. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you can see my thoughts on it. Fun movie. You guys weren't wrong. I know you always ask me in the live streams, watch D&D. Well, I finally did it. Very fun movie. Balances the comedy with the fantasy adventure vibes well. Chris Pine kills it. I enjoyed my time a lot, and surprisingly emotional movie at the end. Really and truly surprised me with how emotional it ended up getting at the end. So I dug it. I really did. What are my top 3 musical films? Good question, Ryan. I'm going to say Singing in the Rain, West Side Story, which is both of them because I'm cheating. And then I love The Sound of Music, but I also love La La Land. It's tough. Then you got Sweeney Todd. I mean, I'll go La La Land in third. So I'll have Singing in the Rain, West Side Story, and La La Land. Keep, watch, burn all Spider-Man movies, all Batman movies, all Superman movies. Burn the Superman movies. That's pretty easy for me. Keep the Spider-Man movies and then watch the Batman movies. Because there's a lot of bad Batman movies out there. But I mean, you got the Dark Knight trilogy and the Batman, but then you've got the Tim Burton ones, the Adam West one, the Joel Schumacher ones. I don't want to watch those. So that would be my answer. Do I think Captain America 4 will flop? I don't know. I think Captain America being the title will get butts and seats. I don't know if it'll flop. It just depends on the budget. If it has a ridiculously expensive budget, it could end up losing money. But if it has a normal budget, it's still going to make money. It's an MCU movie. It's Captain America. It's going to make money. It is. I don't know if it will be as big of a hit as the other Captain America movies, but we'll have to see. I have hope. I don't know if Venom 3 will be rated R. I think the Venom movies have always needed to be rated R, but they're PG-13. But they're just not good movies. They're just not. I don't know how there's a Venom trilogy. I do, actually. It's because they make money. All right. I'll go for a few more minutes, so keep the questions coming. Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question. If you got a question you're dying to ask, you got a hot take to drop, Super Chat is the way to go. It's also a way to help support the channel. And other than that, I'll go for a few more minutes here. Let me take a sip of water. All right. Okay. Sorry, just trying to find a question here. Does the first trailer for Loki 2 really drop tomorrow? If that's true, that's big if true, as they say. I didn't know that. So if that's true, very cool. Where did that news come about? That's awesome if it does drop tomorrow. All right. Recommend some things that inspired Stranger Things. Okay. I would recommend Jaws because you get sort of the Hopper side of things, the adventure side of things. There's even like a Jaws poster there. I haven't seen Poltergeist, but apparently that's sort of inspired as well. But the main thing is E.T., specifically for season 1, Steven Spielberg's E.T. But those movies are all like like E.T. and Jaws are movies that everyone should see regardless, but there definitely are aspects of those films that that Stranger Things pays homage to, specifically season 1. So I would say E.T. in particular is a big one, big inspiration for season 1 of Stranger Things. Thoughts on the Craven movie getting delayed? Like, why? Why? The movie's not going to do any better a year from now. It's Morbius 2.0. I've said that in my trailer. I think I said it after that trailer dropped, and it's going to flop no matter when it releases. So you might as well just drop it now and sort of just deal with it, face it, instead of just delay it for its inevitable failure. Thoughts on Spider-Man 2 PS5? I'm hyped. Yeah, I'll be Twitch streaming that in October when it comes out. I'm excited. In fact, I'm actually Twitch streaming later today. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch and keep this party going, Twitch is linked down below. Follow me over there and you'll get the notification when I go live. Probably Fall Guys and Spider-Man PS4. I'm replaying Spider-Man PS4, but it'll be a hybrid of those. So stay tuned. What's the worst Nicolas Cage movie? Well, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. I'll give you just my favorite. I don't want to answer worst. I love National Treasure 1 and 2. I just had to take advantage of this opportunity to say that. Do I think Thunderbolts will be good? Love the profile pic and the username, by the way. I would say yes, I do. I trust the creative team involved, and I think it'll be actually a good movie. Favorite streaming service? Hard not to say Netflix or HBO Max, but I think I think I got to go Netflix. Favorite fantasy movie other than Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter? I mean, D&D is honestly up there. It's a really good movie. It also depends on fantasy, your definition of fantasy. I would go. It's tough. Onward's sort of a fantasy type movie. I might say that one. That comes to mind. Yes, I think Oppenheimer will get nominated for Best Picture. I think it could even win Best Picture, to be honest with you. Network 98. I can always count on Network 98 to have the obscure questions. Thank you for the super chat. How bad would root beer mixed with beer sound? Pretty disgusting, actually. That sounds awful. What is it? Root beer with, what do they say in Drake and Josh? Root beer, and is it Dr. Fizz or something? Or whatever. It's like root beer and then Dr. Fizz, I think. That sounds like a good combination, that they mix their sodas together. But that combination you've proposed sounds pretty putrid. I mean, honestly, yeah, who really cares about the Craven movie? All right, let's see. I think delaying Beyond the Spider-Verse was inevitable because of how long it takes to animate the film and how much work goes into it. So I think it was inevitable regardless of a strike. But now, yeah, it's probably, in terms of like thinking about the quality of the movie, yeah, it's definitely smart to delay it so that the people can actually get to work on the movie. The studios need to just wise up, though. They need to wise up and just pay the actors and pay the writers fairly. Hot take: I think Matt Reeves' The Batman is overrated. I disagree strongly. I got to represent it right there. I love that movie. I also am excited for The Conjuring 4. It's one of my more anticipated horror films now because I recently watched all the Conjuring movies, and I'm pumped for that, especially if they pull James Wan out of his little stint away from the Conjuring franchise. That would be hype. Ben says, what are your thoughts on Gladiator? Amazing movie. Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here? Love it. Can't wait for Gladiator 2. Stranger Things or Cobra Kai? Stranger Things has my heart. Love Cobra Kai, though. Are the Daredevil show and the Deadpool movies in the Infinity Saga? No. They are not. They are not. They were not released in the MCU at that time. So even though the characters have come in, they are not a part of the Infinity Saga, in my opinion, at least. That'd be, like the Raimi trilogy isn't part of the MCU, even though Toby comes in, like the Raimi movies are not part of the MCU, in my opinion. I have not seen Transformers Prime. I have seen Taxi Driver, iconic movie. Everyone should watch at least once. The Batman or the Dark Knight? I prefer the Batman. I think the Batman is a little bit of a better movie. Hot take, maybe. Worst theater experience? I mean, there's a lot. Recently, people have just been talking a lot, like not just whispering. Like I'm fine with that, but people have been like having full on conversations near me or like going on their phone. One time I saw Tenet round two. This dude answered his phone in like the front row of the movie and just started talking out loud like an idiot. People have just always been kind of like that in theaters. There was a baby once. There's, people screaming and yelling. It's just people running around. When I saw Spider-Verse round two, these idiots were running around the aisles. It's like, what are you doing? So a lot, unfortunately. I can't even pinpoint one because they've just been accumulated over the years because of people being so rude, honestly. Favorite The Boys character? I think the best character in that show is Homelander. Like without Homelander, there's no The Boys. He's so fascinating. He's such a despicable person. Seeing his next villainous move makes the show great. But my favorite character, I think I gotta say Butcher, probably. Um, wow. Favorite season of Cobra Kai? I like season 5 a lot, and a lot of people disagree with that, but we've earned this journey with the characters. We've been on it. It feels rewarding to watch sort of this wild finale unfold, I should say. It's nice to see all the characters at a happy place for once, where they can all kind of set their differences aside and be a family in a way. I'm excited for season 6. Do you think the DCU Batman movie will be better than the Batman 2? No. No, not with Andy Muschietti directing, not with it being part of a universe. No. The Batman Part 2 will be better than any Batman that the DC universe puts out, in my opinion. We got Ben in the house. Shout out, Ben. I was talking about Blackberry earlier, dude. Yeah, it's like it's either my 5 or my 6. It is solidly in my top 10 right now. I have not stopped thinking about it. I watched it last night. Hell of a movie. Glenn Howerton. There's a scene near the end of the movie where his acting is, I mean, he's great the whole movie, but there's a scene near the end where I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, you had mentioned The Social Network before, and you were totally right with that comparison. It reminds me of like the Mark, that scene in a way. Great stuff. Great stuff. I really, really like that movie. I do think Robert Pattinson's Batman will appear in the Penguin series. I do. I agree, Ryan. It's awful. I don't know why people ever do it. I have seen Upgrade from Lee Winnell. I watched it years ago now. 3 years ago now, maybe. I liked it. Didn't love it, but I liked it. Invisible Man, I prefer in terms of his directorial work. What actor deserves an Oscar? RDJ. Right now, RDJ for Oppenheimer, I think. But just overall, someone who hasn't won one that deserves one. Someone like Harrison Ford, who's just delivered amazing performances throughout the years, but never had like a big Oscar role. Like Harrison Ford just deserves one, But then you've got guys like Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. They deserve Oscars. There's so many people who deserve them, in my opinion. And everyone that deserves one, I think they'll have that role one day where they end up getting a win. Look at Jamie Lee Curtis. She was in the industry for years. She finally got one last year. I'm close to finishing Clone Wars for the first time. Well, hell yeah to that. The season 7, right? Yeah, season 7 is Siege of Mandalore at the end. Enjoy. Blackberry deserves a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, most people who've seen the movie recommend it, and I completely agree. And I was thinking that too. Like, what if he gets nominated? I think RDJ wins, but imagine if Howerton got a nom. That would be wild. I would be hyped for that. You already mentioned the Snyder Cut. Yeah. I think I actually may have seen the Return of the King extended version, so that technically would be the longest one, but that was years ago, and I watched it chopped up, like, in different segments. But I stand by that Snyder Cut's the longest movie I've seen. I also think Jordan that a Cobra Kai character has to maybe die, and if anyone, I think it has to be Kreese or Silver. I don't know if we'll see much Silver this season. I think that he still has to be around and have a big role. But Kreese, they had an opportunity to kill Kreese. I think he probably has to go. But it's not a show where I'm like, oh, this guy could die. Because if someone dies, it's either like real world murder with real consequence. It's not like a fantasy show, Like no one's out here. It might be a little weird. They'd have to handle it appropriately. Willem Dafoe's one that definitely deserves an Oscar. Yeah, definitely. Blue Beetle is set up to fail. I think the movie's going to be great, but it's set up to fail with the middle of August release date. It's set up to fail with the DC horrible track record and the fact that it's a new character. People are going to be less likely to go see a movie about a new character they don't know much about. Look at The Flash. That's an established character, historically speaking, and it had Michael Keaton's Batman in the marketing. Look at Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That was a sequel. It failed. I think the movie's doomed to fail. I think it will be very good, and I just hope people show up for it, but honestly, I don't. I think it's going to flop at the box office, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm totally wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. Favorite recent rom-com movie? No Hard Feelings. Do I want to see Insidious 6? Maybe years from now, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I want to see a new original horror franchise with James Wan and Lee Whannell helming it. It depends. How much do you enjoy the other Indiana Jones films? I enjoy it. I think it's worth watching, but a lot of people disagree. I think if you are watching the franchise for the first time right now, you will like it more than people who hate it because you don't have the expectation of a lot of people. Cad Bane or Mando? Mando. Cad Bane went out sad in live. I mean, yeah, Mando easily, actually. I might be watching the Tetris movie later today. That's on my watch list after watching Blackberry. I'm like, I need to watch Tetris. So we'll see if I like that or not. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so multiple people have now said this. I'm going to have to look into this. Apparently, we are getting a Loki Season 2 trailer tomorrow. Hell yeah to that. I didn't know. A few people have mentioned that in the chat. Is like Daniel RPK, the guy who like leaks the news? Is he like saying that or not? Like, he's usually pretty reliable, so big if true. Should Killian get an Oscar? I think he should. Thoughts on the Kingsman movies? I really enjoy them. I hope we get the third with Taron Egerton and round out that trilogy. That'd be one of my more anticipated movies of the year. It's supposed to come out whenever that is. So, yeah, I would say, hell yeah, the Kingsman movies. The first two, I don't really care for the Kingsman all that much, but yeah, I enjoy the movies. Barbie all day over Megan. And I'll probably do one or two more questions, so fire them off real quick. Hit that like button if you guys are in here or on the replay. And I'm going live on Twitch later today, so make sure you're following me. Link down below if you want to continue asking me questions over there as I play either Fall Guys or Spider-Man. We'll see. And Super Chat's the way to go if you want to guarantee, a last-minute question or comment. Fire it off. Let me put this link here if it's still pasting. Cool. Go check this out as well, guys. This is the podcast channel I have with my girlfriend. We do a lot of content over there. It's a lot of fun. And we have 816 subscribers. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers over there, so go check it out. Do Fall Guys? I might just do Fall Guys. Yeah, favorite Wes Anderson movie? Grand Budapest Hotel that I've seen. I haven't seen in a lot of his work, but that's my favorite that I've seen. Ooh, this is the one we're ending on, I think, unless I see another good one pop up. If a Stranger Things or Cobra Kai actor got cast in the MCU, who would you want it to be? So I'm going either Joe Keery or Dacre Montgomery in the Fantastic Four or X-Men in some capacity. That's my answer. You could do Joe Keery as Beast. You could do Joe Keery as Human Torch. Same for Dacre. One of those two in either the X-Men or Fantastic Four world is what we need. We need that. But that was a really good one to end on, so I appreciate the questions, guys. But that's going to wrap it up for this live Q&A. It's a Sunday afternoon. Hope all of you are doing well, having a great weekend. August is upon us. I've got a YouTube video coming out within the hour ranking the July 2023 movies that I saw. Tomorrow will be everything I watched in July, as well as possibly a Loki Season 2 trailer reaction. So that could be exciting if we end up getting that. But that's going to do it for this live Q&A. If you want to continue hanging out today, I'm actually doing a Twitch stream. So follow me on Twitch. It's linked down below. And stay tuned. You'll get a notification when I go live over there. I'll keep answering your questions. It'll be fun. But I look forward to the Twitch stream. Look forward to more content coming this week. And that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys' support as always.